Every Sunday at noon, you could set a clock by it. The crying began at noon. It ended by 1, without exception. For 8 Sundays, I told myself it wasn't my business. That's a sentence I've had to spend a lot of time with since. Not my business. 8 times. The particular awfulness of hearing someone cry through a wall is that you are close enough to feel responsible and far enough away to convince yourself you aren't. You are in the worst possible position, called but not sent. Week 1, I told myself she might be on the phone. Week 3, I told myself she had family coming. Week 5, I called the non-emergency line. The officer was kind. He said crying alone was not something they could. He was right. I knew he was right.
Yes, hello. I'd like to report a concern about a neighbor. I've been hearing someone crying through my apartment wall every Sunday.
Every Sunday, sir?
At noon, it stops at 1. It's been 6 weeks.
Has there been any indication of physical distress, calls for help, sounds of altercation?
No.
Sir, without a specific indication of physical danger or distress,
She sounds like she's in enormous pain.
I understand. But crying on its own isn't something we can...
I know. Thank you.
He was right. I knew he was right. The right person to call was not the police. The right thing to do was cross a hallway. And I couldn't make myself do it for 8 Sundays. On Sunday 8, I put on my jacket. I had my keys. I was at my own front door. I took the jacket off and went back to the couch. I don't have a good explanation for that. I've tried to write one. I can't. Sunday 9. The second hand hit 12. The crying started, and something in me was simply done with itself. I put the book down. I walked to the door. I didn't put a jacket on. I didn't rehearse anything. I knocked on 4C. Standing in the hallway, you could hear it more clearly. Not louder, clearer. It was the most structured grief I had ever heard. Not desperate, not unraveling. Scheduled. Like she had given it a room and a time and then stayed within its walls. She opened the door. 63 years old. Red-rimmed eyes behind a smile that was there
Hello,
before
I'm
she
your neighbor
fully
from
decided
4B.
to put it
I
on.
just wanted to make sure you were all right.
Oh, goodness, I'm so sorry. I had no idea the walls were quite so thin. I do apologize for disturbing you.
Please, don't apologize.
Would you like to come in for tea?
Yes, I would.
Yellow cardigan, tissue in her sleeve. She told me she was fine before I'd asked. Her apartment was everything mine is not. Full of evidence of people. Photographs everywhere. A life that had touched many other lives and been touched back. And on one shelf, a young man in dress uniform, the folded flag beside him. His name was David. He died on a Sunday. They called at noon. She had built an architecture around her grief. 1 hour, every Sunday at noon. So it had a container, so it didn't seep into everything else. So she could be present the other 6 days and 23 hours. She had designed this, on purpose,
Your son?
out of necessity, out of love for her own life.
David. He died on a Sunday, 4 years ago this February.
So every Sunday,
I have my hour. I give myself 1 hour every Sunday at noon to cry, properly, as hard as I need to. And then at 1 o'clock, I stop.
you stop.
I make myself stop, not because the grief is done, it is never done, but because if I don't have a container for it, a room, a time,
She asked if
an
I had
hour,
lost
it seeps
someone.
everywhere, into
I
the
told her
grocery
about
store, into
Marcus,
church,
my
into
brother,
grandchildren's Christmas.
2009. I hadn't said his name out loud to a stranger in,
My
I don't
brother,
remember how long.
Marcus,
She
2009.
asked if I had given
Did you give
myself
yourself
an hour.
No.
You should.
No one had ever asked me that. Sitting at Nora Callahan's kitchen table, in that warm apartment with her photographs and her dried flowers and her half-done crossword, something in me that had been shut very tightly for 15 years opened. Crying at Nora Callahan's kitchen table, for the first time since 2009. For my brother, and for the 8 Sundays I sat on the other side of a wall from someone who understood and said nothing. She sat with me without saying a word. She did not offer reassurance. She did not minimize. She simply sat, the way you would want someone to sit with you, the way she would have wanted someone to sit with her. Grief doesn't need an audience, but it helps, more than I knew, to have a witness.